Good morning, everyone. My name is Gary Cletus. I am a veteran who owns a firearms business, and I am the owner and lead instructor for Make Your Shot Count. I would like to tell you a story of one of my classroom experiences to start the day off. I walk into a room, I'm ready and I'm passionate to get up there and help build a student. And I see this young lady, 86 years old, sitting down, and she's looking at me, and she's got this big bandage on her head. So I walk over to her and I says, "Welcome, thank you for coming this morning. I appreciate it." And she reintroduced herself. I says, "And why are you here?" She started crying. And I go, "I'm not that bad of a guy. You haven't heard nothing about me, so let's talk." She says, "I'm here because I'm 86 years old. I didn't believe in guns. And about a year ago, I was in a store with my nephew who owned the store, and I was helping him. A young thug came in there, robbed her, hit her over the skull with a blunt object. She landed 4 months in a coma, an additional 4 months in the hospital recovering. She's now in my class. She's a victim. It took that long for her to realize that at any split moment, you can become a victim. You may have a different opinion, but we're going to talk about that a little bit. So let's talk about why I started this business. I'm passionate about the art of shooting. Shooting, to me, I have done most of my life, and I believe I'm very good at it. My focus of instruction should be on the students. When I've gone to many gun classes throughout the United States, military and civilian, and I always did not like it when the instructor stood there and it was all about them. What I am, what I can do, how good how great thou art speech is what I call it. So what I do is, I says, I think the focus is wrong. We need to change it up just a little bit. So I said, when we go to gun schools or to a gun class, what is something that they should know about? And I believe one of the things is inform students of the choices of their consequences. I hear people saying to me, if someone broke into my house, I'll shoot them. You hear this stuff. They have signs on their cars that say, God giveth life, God taketh. Or Glock taketh. And the question here is, do you understand what you're saying when you're doing this stuff? So, and another thing is my audiences. They vary. Based on age, sex, their experience level. I've trained SWAT teams, and I've trained what we call, I have a group of ladies and gentlemen, who are seniors. Around my age, I guess. And these are people that we take a slower approach to. They learn at different paces. When we talk to women, please notice one key thing. Women are totally different learners than men. But when men teach the class, they get up there and they think, you're supposed to understand what I'm teaching you. That's not my objective. You are. I want to make you the specific person. Can you learn from me? Can I help build you? You're the reason why I exist. No other reason. So, I come out with a mission statement. What would I like to say, what I like to do? I try to educate you, and notice that the word you is purposely what? Colored in large print. It's about you. It's not about me. It's not about making big money. It's about you. I want to teach you the safe handling of firearms and know how to avoid a life-threatening situation according to the North Carolina General Statutes. People need to understand we have choices. Do you always have to go to the gun and draw and take your shot? What choice do I have? What are the consequences? We go through that very much. Subjects that I like to cover in my classes are talking about justified self-defense according to North Carolina law. How many times have you heard someone and you ask them, well, would you mind role-playing with me for a second?
No problem.
Okay, ma'am. I'm an instructor. I'm going to ask you, what do you think self-defense is?
Taking care of yourself in a dangerous situation.
Great, you hear that. It's good. She is focused correctly. But according to law, that's not all of it. You can't instigate, you can't provoke, you can't enter it, you can't continue the conflict. Because if you did any one of those, you just lost self-defense. How do you say what is excessive force versus another? When some people says, well, he shot 7 times. Yeah, according to law, it depends. It did take 7 shots to stop the threat. If it took 9 to stop the threat, we shoot 9. If we shoot 1 and it stops the threat, we stop the threat, correct? So that's one of the things to look at. Making moral and ethical decisions. How many of you ever been to a class that when you, especially firearms, have you ever, I want you to think about this. You want to get a firearm. Are you morally and ethically, have you gone through, can you, if you need to, shoot a human being? Well, there's some moral and ethical decisions you got to live with.
Right.
Can you shoot a 14-year-old? Can you shoot a 67-year-old man? Can you shoot a lady who's on crutches and is willing to stab you because the bottom of the crutch she brings up, she pushes it, it's just like a switchblade. It comes out. Are you willing to kill him? Not kill him, but to stop the assault. I don't teach to kill, I teach you to stop the assault. So we look at moral and ethical decisions. Are you committed to act? I don't care what you want to do. I will shoot, I will not shoot. Just be committed. Because when it comes down, it's going to come down that fast. And are you, and I'm asking you, are you ready to act that fast? Are you committed? Are you going to sit there and go, well, I'm going to think about what I'm going to do? Because you have a split second. Can you make that decision in a split second? We also want to look at stuff like protect yourself in your home, your business, your vehicle, and on the street. Some of the things that when we go to the range, have you ever noticed when you go to the range, you see guys out on the range and they sit there and they do this stuff or they do this stuff? I ask you, have you ever been in a gunfight? I have. Has my life been threatened? Many times. As a police officer or a law enforcement officer in the military and civilian side, I had guns stuck in my face and I stuck guns in other people's faces. And I learned what worked in the street. Okay? You want to talk about it? This is called street shooting. Target practice is nice, but for reality, it does not work. Let's look at avoidance. Is it just as important as engagement? What can I do to avoid that situation? Should we learn something about avoiding it? Sometimes I've been, for example, here's one. I come out of Walmart one time. And I'm only a few feet from this gentleman, and this is at 10 o'clock. One guy turns around, yells at another guy. The other guy looks back. He pulls out a gun, shoots him right in front of me. And he pulls the gun, looks at me, and he points it at me. And I'm sitting there going, do I want to take this guy on holding a bag of Fritos and a six-pack? I was going to share it with him if we wanted to, but nah. So I'm sitting there going, and he's just looking at me, he's getting ready, and I go, and for some reason I go, no, speak the English. And he looked at me. So he turned around. But the issue is, I've been a cop for almost 20 years. Why didn't I go after him? Why didn't I try to take him down? Because that's what a cop's about. No. Good judgment. It was a time to avoid it. You know, like playing cards. You know when to play and when to fold. So as we go, and what do you expect after the shot? How many of you have sat there? Sir, if you don't mind me asking you, have you ever thought of the psychological, the financial, and the social factors that take place after you place that shot? Okay. Give me your thoughts if you don't mind.
What's the next thing that you have to deal with after that shot's fired?
As I have told some people, how many of you ever had, and I had a true experience in this, I'll give it to you quick and brief. A man next to you is your buddy in the military. He gets shot, and you're there and you're holding him and he's gurgling in his blood. Psychological. Stays with me to this day. When people are in your house and you shoot someone and they start gurgling in their blood in your living room, are you prepared for it psychologically? We talk about social and other things. So what should you expect in one of my classes, which I think is excellent? Because why should I go to you, Gary? What makes me want to go to your class? Besides being great. One is, you are the focus of my training, no matter what your knowledge is of firearms. I have people coming and say, I don't know nothing about a firearm and never touched a firearm. And I says, you're in the right hands. Another one comes up, yeah, I've been shooting firearms for 20 years. I go, yeah, great. So how many gunfights have you been in? None. So you don't understand the stress that goes with it, the adrenaline rush that takes place. Are you prepared? We want to make sure that you have realistic and practical life-saving skills when we talk about handling of a firearm, shooting the firearm, and learning some tactics. Now this sounds like, whoa man, like this man here, Mr. Military, we know about tactics, so we've been there and done it. Who up? But how do you teach a 41-year-old lady who lives by herself with 2 young children, who just got a gun because someone says, you need a gun? What tactics do they know?
Nothing.
That is correct. But someone told them, you need a gun. And I don't understand that thinking, but we'll get more into it. You have an enthusiastic instructor who is committed to your success. How many times have you gone to a class and someone says, I'm here to train you, and they stand up here and they lecture to you. And you're sitting there going, sorry, I'm sleeping, and you see sheep going across your face.
Yeah.
I'm committed to your success because you are my product. If you go out of my class, I'm going to give you a hint. You're going to belong to an exclusive club that I have. And it's called the Brothers and Sisters of the Barrel. And when we are out, we see each other on the street, we go like this. This is our secret handshake. We go like this. And then you come back go. And what does that tell you? What does that tell you? You've been trained properly.
You got to be careful where you do that, because in some parts of the world that has a completely different meaning.
Are you talking Spring Lake? Are you talking Spring Lake?
Could be, I don't know.
When you come to class, remember, you're making an investment in yourself and others that you have. This young lady has grandchildren, correct?
Yes.
And who made breakfast this morning, Grandma?
McDonald's?
That wasn't the answer! So when you attend the class, I want you to do a couple things. I want you to come with a willingness to learn and change. If you don't want to change, please don't come to my class. Because what I'm trying to teach is life-saving skills. You're investing on how to make yourself safer and how to make a determination should I encounter or avoid. Get involved with class discussions. I want each one of you. You're going to receive what we call organized and realistic curriculum. Not a lot of fluff. Stuff that doesn't work in the street. Learn how to do this, do this, do this. And I'm sitting there going, say what? Safety is constantly stressed. If you ask me what is one of my key things that I look at, no matter what we do in the classroom or on the range, you can guarantee it's going to be safety. If you have never fired a weapon, I need you to tell me at the beginning of class. So I put you in the front and I can make sure you have understanding. If I have faster people in the back of the room, that's okay. But you're paying just as well as the others. I ask everybody to bring a holster, ammo, and the weapon of your choice to protect yourself. Here's a problem with some training. Have you ever noticed this? And, sir, have you ever shot, I don't know, yes, you, sir. Have you ever fired a firearm?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever noticed that when you shoot, that you get used to handling that weapon, and you learn that weapon inside and out? It amazes me, they come to my class, they bring a .22 handgun, and the gun goes beep, beep, beep when they shoot it. Right? You know what .22 is. Then he brings out his .44 Magnum out, the most powerful handgun in existence. So what happens is, he shoots, right? Difference in handling abilities. When you come to class, I like to use true confessions. I have students that have told me the class was informative, entertaining. Others have said, I have great patience. And I focus on the things that would make them a better shooter. And last, it's affordable and well worth their time. So the key thing here I want you to remember, I don't want you to be the victim. I want you to be the victor. So invest in your safety. I want you to come and raise your level of competence in your firearms level. You won't go from 1 to 10. You have to go through steps. I want you to understand what options you have if you go into an encounter. Develop a determined mindset. Will I or will I not engage? At my age, I don't want to engage. You want my wallet here? I thought you carried a gun. Yeah. but I don't know how good he is. I'm old. I hurt. When I hurt, it takes longer to heal. So I make it for that. Be aware of the criminal and civil legal consequences of your action, and of course, I want you to expect victory. Mindset victory. Mindset victory. Do not go into this class saying, no, I don't know what to do. I'm going to make you a victor. You've got to look at it in that manner. Victory. Then we can get up and do the victory dance. Yeah. So forth. Conclusion, our training will take you from whatever level you start at, and I want to raise you to a higher level. And I want you to know that you are my product. I am proud to have you as a representative. When you come to my class, I don't have to put advertisements out. I still do. But the word of mouth I have found out to be is what? My best source of advertisement. Just remember one key thing, please. For whatever reason you have to use a firearm, I don't care what it is, just remember one thing. Make your shot count. And that is the end of my presentation. Now, one of the things I would like to make sure is my target, there's some questions we usually talk about. And one of them is my target audience. I want to find people who seek to improve their skills. I don't care what skill level you are at, I can take you up. My military training and civilian training is way up there. So I want you to be committed to change. I want people who are committed to change. Are you willing to learn what the best do? I want you to seek instructions from someone who speaks your language. I speak in the language called Cumberlandese. I'm from Cumberland County. As I tell people I'm from Cumberland County, I speak in a language that is so simple, no matter what part of the world you're from, you understand what I'm saying. I don't use big words because I don't know big words. I'm a small guy, use small words. Simple. So you can be one of these. Desire to learn how to survive an encounter. That is a key thing also. Last but not least, here's the one I want you to help me with. If you're asking, what can you do to help me? If you know of a domestic, someone who's been a victim of an assault, someone who's been involved with domestic violence, please, please tell them to get a hold of me. Let me see what I can do to build them and help them. Let's not repeat that victimization. As a cop told me the first time, I'll never get shot. So on my second visit to him at the hospital, years later, I says, do you remember that comment? Didn't work. What is my competitive advantage compared to other people? Students are my priority. It's not a how great thou art speech. Since you're my product, I want to make each one of you excellent to your capabilities. When people have severe arthritis in their hand, they have a hard time pulling a gun. I have to teach you a way to use the gun according to your physical abilities. A lot of people don't do that. You are my product, and I'm proud to say you are my product. Each one of you, when you graduate, you're my product. And when you walk out, and when I finish, we'll all give each other the insight. Biggest challenge I have is name recognition. One key thing with name recognition is we have many people out there with a what? I teach firearms, or I teach CCS, and I ask them, so you teach CCS, have you ever done a crime scene? Have you made an arrest? Have you done investigations? No, but I read the book. Great. Have you ever been into a true gunfight? Do you know what fear is? Do you know how it feels after the shot is taken? No, but I've read the book and I went to the class. I have to put up with these people. So I want to pay, I'm proud to be a member of Million Cups, and I am very proud to be a member of the Business Builders Network. So on that, on behalf of Million Cups, I wish to say thank you for attending. Oh, questions. I forgot. Because I know Ronnie's back there going, my turn, my turn. Do we have some questions that I may address? Yes?
How long do your classes last? Is it just an 8-hour class for the concealed carry?
Concealed carry is a minimum of 8 hours plus range time. State law says a minimum of 8 hours class time and range. So that's according to state law, and I am one that follows the law. You will hear people in this town saying, you can take me and you get in 5. Don't get caught.
Do you think that 8 hours is sufficient for, just say, a lady that has never had any firearm experience?
If you were to take a firearms class with me for concealed, I would say to you, let's get together on a Wednesday or day it's available. I will donate a couple hours to you just to learn some of the fundamentals of how to hold the gun and shoot. Then you'll be ready to go to the class. If you are going to sign up for my class, that service is free.
Do you recommend a specific type of weapon, a revolver versus an automatic?
I think that's...
For a lady that isn't accustomed to shooting?
Are you ready?
Yes.
I want to know something about you first off. I want to know your age. Do you have arthritis? No, here's the thing. Because older people can hold that revolver's heavy. Okay, what is your strength level? Number 2, do you have arthritis, bursitis? Because we talk about recoil when you pull that trigger. It hurts. Okay? One day I went to a gun range, and after shooting 1,400 rounds in one day, my arms were killing me.
Yes, so.
But the issue here is, so what I'm saying to you is, when I say revolver, when I say semi, I need to put the gun in your hand. How strong is your finger to pull the trigger? If it's very strong, revolver. If it isn't, semi. How good are your eyes? Can you see the front sight on a revolver, or can you see it better on a semi? When you hold the gun out here, when guns recoils, can you control the recoil? If you can, see, there's many facets. Each gun is directed to you. I look at you and say, okay, Lori, let's sit here, let's go through it. Let me go through a list of questions. Some place that you go to will say this: yeah, you're a woman, you need a revolver. Nothing goes wrong. A woman came to my class, she couldn't even pull the trigger. They sold her a revolver. You know what I'm talking about? It's hard. So when I talk to you, I would ask you, Lori, there's some steps and questions we would do. I bring out maybe 10, 12 guns, and I have you pick it up, weight, feel, trigger. What's the length of your finger? Did you know the length of your finger determines what kind of handgun you get? Why? Because if the finger's not properly placed on the trigger to pull it back, and you have too much finger or not enough, that affects your accuracy. It wags the gun. Did I help?
Yes.
Good. Comment.
I was just going to say, popular culture hasn't helped much as far as handling firearms. For instance, you know, Dirty Harry is an entertaining character,
Yeah.
but a cop's not going to carry a Smith & Wesson Model 29 because it's too heavy and there's too much penetration, too much potential for collateral damage.
You are so correct, and could I add to that? When you come to my class, which will go with you, how do you select the right bullet? Bullets are like gasoline. You have regular, mid-grade, and high grade, and each one gives this a bigger recoil. Which one can you handle? See, so for me to say what gun is best for you, just remember, a name brand, but we look at others. Another question.
You said.
Yes. Oh, yes, sir.
Sorry.
No.
You said name recognition was your biggest challenge?
Right now.
How to differentiate yourself? How do you currently try to address that?
I try to attend as many events as possible, okay? For example, I just got done talking to this young lady over here, and she's putting on an event, so I would like to participate in that event. If you have an event that there may be people there that are interested, I'd like to participate. I put demonstrations on. Later this afternoon at 1 o'clock, I'll be at Jim's gun jobbery over in Yadkin Road. And I sit there and I tell them, if anybody has questions or problems with shooting, I'm here for 2 hours. Bring them to me, they get free instruction. I have a website that is out there right now, and of course cards. But my main thing is a lot of times, my product is right now selling. You know, those who, you want to? Next question. Yes, ma'am.
So where do you have your classes, your classroom and your firearms training?
Right now, I'm teaching every other Saturday at Jim's Gun Jobbery over on Yadkin Road.
Okay, so
I
you
have the
a
range,
classroom there?
the classroom
Okay.
and the range, that's right. So I have everything nice, no matter what the weather is, it's nice inside. Any other, yes, ma'am?
I have two, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so.
That's
your
our first one. If it's okay, there's your first one.
You're networking, but what are you doing for brand recognition? I mean, what products are you using for brand recognition?
That is one of my problems I'm facing right now.
And then my second question is, do you only offer single classes, or if I wanted to take a series of classes to help me kind of ease my way in, do you offer class series?
When you come to me, you let me know what your goal is. You can attend a class, you can attend multiple classes. If you would like to do individual training, I can help you. I ask you, what is your purpose? And then we focus everything around what you need the gun for.
So you tailor it to each person?
I customize big time. Okay? Well, I'm about out of
I'll
time.
take the last question. What can the community do for you?
The big thing what the community can do for me is, oh, never mind, I thought I had it. I'm asking you to help me get name recognition. You've heard me speak this morning, which I am very thankful that you listened to me. I'm asking you to help get my name out there. The purpose of this is find people who can instruct. Not everybody's an instructor. Find someone who's passionate about what they do. Find someone who's going to give you realistic and practical training. Someone who cares about you being the product. That's what I want. I would ask that you would help me from that perspective. I thank you again, and before I leave, I'm sorry. It's just I happen with every class I do. You deserve one of these.